about a week ago, we lost an amazing leader, friend, entrepreneur, savvy tech or savvy social media. I don't know if I could call her guru. She was just an awesome human being, down to earth, and I just want to give her homage on what she has taught me to leave this legacy, but also to inspire you guys in some way, shape, or form of what she has taught me. And Jessie Lee Ward has had so much imprint on me that she saved me when I didn't know how I was going to overcome. She picked me up when I didn't know how I was going to be safe. She saw in me something that I didn't think I could, but believed in me so much that came to fruition. And she passed away from colon cancer, stage 4, was completely healed from it, but got some complications from what we know. But aside from that, leave a beautiful legacy. And my question to you is, if you had the opportunity to show up today, what would it change if you had something in the next 5 years? She was unknown to the world for the 5 years. Before the last 5 years, she had worked her ass off being an entrepreneur in so many different shapes of form. But what if you could show up now, today, in who you are and change the trajectory of your whole life? And even though she was in her own network marketing business, she has imprinted so much on me that I am so ever grateful that what she has taught me has had me be a better person, a better sister, a better leader, a better human being, that has also given me the energy to show up as I am, who I am, with the energy that I have. And first of all, I want to share one thing that she taught me, which was empathy. Seeing people as they were. If you don't know, I started my first business and then had to shut it down. I was very much black and white. You either join me or you don't. You either like me or you don't. You either do business or you don't. I was just very much white or black or white. And I just didn't care, because I just didn't have the tools in order for me to grow and overcome and to share. And I see today the fact of how I'm treating people and understanding where they are. To help them at the level of where they are requires a lot of self-work on yourself. More listening, less talking. More listening, less talking. Have them talk. Have them share what they're going through. Have them speak their truth. Have them speak what they're wanting. But it only comes by working more on yourself. Number 2 is what I absolutely love. And when I say empathy, we don't really need to go much into it because it says what it is. It's the fact of, sometimes when people, you go up to them and you talk to them and you're at the conversation and you leave the conversation and you don't feel as if, you've been able to pour, or they've talked more about themselves than anybody else. I don't want to be that person. I don't want them to think that. Sorry, I'm putting my slippers on because it's cold. As we're getting into winter season. I don't want them to feel that there's no point. Everywhere I go, I just want you to know that you feel seen. I want you to know that there's a safe space. I want you to know that you are where you're supposed to be, at the right place at the right time. I want you to feel that every time you speak to me, there's something that you can munch on and you can head back. But the empathy comes when you're able to be in the person's shoes in some way, shape, or form, right? As much as she's not there anymore, I feel her spirit. I feel her energy. It's so crazy that I met her when I was in physically, when she came to London back in April last year or something like that. And her energy was so attractive. But I got to spend a bit of time when she was in the Gucci store and buying some pieces for an event. She was there, but she wasn't really there. But it just felt good to be able to just be around her in that moment of shopping, right? It just felt so cool to be able to have somebody so down to earth that you can just listen to and absorb everything that she does. Yeah. And what she taught me also was resilience. The resilience of showing up, the resilience of saying you're going to do something and you're going to promise it to the world. You say you're going to go live, you go live. You say you're going to show up as the best version of you, you say you're going to show up as the best version of you. And of course, at first, you're going to make mistakes. It's not going to be, and I'm going to get the word resilience meaning. So I can give you the exact, the capacity to withstand, to recover quickly from difficulties. So it's everything that she was facing. She always just ran through it. I guess you would call it ignorance on fire, just running into something that she did not know how would come the outcome, how it would lay out, but knew that deep down inside of her, it would come to fruition. And I just love that resilience. I've loved that energy. I've loved that she has given me that excellence, that energy in me, that if she can do it, so can I. It's never easy to have, the fact that you're moving out, you're living with the person, with the ex, and you have to leave, you have to find the house, you have to move everything, and it's just such a ball ache. But the resilience is, in those difficulties, how are you going to bounce back? In those difficulties, how are you going to override? In those difficulties, how are you going to shine? How are you going to take the good from that moment? Because it's never easy. Like losing a friend that you're not going to talk to anymore. I can message you, but she's not going to get back. It's tough. But how can you build and grow from leaving her legacy? She's done so many podcasts, so many interviews, so many videos that I aspire to be just like her. But in my own way, shape, or form, where when you say my name, I'm not in the room, but I'm remembered. She'll be remembered for so many ways because I will keep on talking about her trainings, her what she taught me, how she taught me, what brought that so much resilience in me. I want to be able to inspire this new generation of somebody that's not there anymore, but her spirit lives. It's a celebration. And the next thing that I've loved in her is the execution of what she said she was going to do and doing it, regardless of what it was. She said she was going to do that. She stuck with it. She said she was going to do this. She did it. And it was just so methodical that even in my business now, I'm like, I got to do this. I said I was going to do this. This is how much it is. This is what it is. This is how much, like, it's just layers over layers over layers over layers over layers. And I'm like, no wonder she's successful at what she does, because she says she's going to do it, then the minutes is done. And I want you guys to also understand, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. But if you promise that you're going to do it, say you're going to do it. One of the reasons why you're not good at continuing is because you're not keeping yourself accountable. You haven't continued the process of being diligent. How can you be more diligent? How can you have the same energy? And my next one comes down to excellence. What is the excellent vibe that you want in your life? What is it that you are, this is what it is. Like, my view and my values in business is you have to have a energy of excellence. You have to be empathetic. You have to have the energy to show up. You have to have want more for your life. But it doesn't come if you don't write down what you want. It doesn't come if you're not clear about your goals. It does not come if you don't have accountability. Accountability comes when you know how to show up. Accountability comes when you say what you're going to do. Accountability comes when you're clear on where you're going to do and how you're going to do it. She was so good at just making it simple, breaking it down, But she was also really good at having people feel seen. And that's what I want people to know, is that they are seen, that they feel seen, that I hear their pain, I see their pain, and to help them override and overcome it. So this is for you, Jessie Lee. Thank you so much for everything that you've done to me. For believing in me. The only regret was, like, we didn't get to do that podcast together. But I guess the podcast did not come to fruition for a reason, is for me to keep that legacy. To keep talking about you every time, to mention you in every stories, to talk about how you've changed my life in so many different ways, of how us at some point, the team, walking on stage, generating $1 million in terms of turnover, will be able to say that was also thanks to you, Jessie Lee. So thank you for everything that you've done to us. I am so ever grateful for what you've done. I cannot thank you enough, because you brought me back to fall in love with network marketing again, when I thought that I was an outsider. I thought I didn't have any voice, I didn't have any space, I didn't know what to do. But you brought me back hope. The hope to show up. The hope to be a better me. So, thank you. Thank you for everything. Hopefully, I will honor you in the many more years to come, that my kids, my grandkids will only hear about Jessie Lee, what she's done, what you've done with Fraser. But yeah, you've touched my heart and changed it in so many ways, and I cannot thank you enough.